afternoon. That's Kendrick Perkins. That's Coach Seth Greenberg. And, of course, the man who needs no introduction, Stephen A. Smith. You guys, we have made it to the end of the week. We get rewarded with the return of basketball and the Sweet 16. If tonight's games can be anything like last night, I think we'll be in a good spot.
Absolutely.
Hey,
no question about it.
First of all, before we get started, let me give somebody their flowers real quick. Okay, Beaumont, Texas was in the building last night. Bear down, Arizona basketball. My day one, the assistant coach over there, Brandon Chappelle, been knowing him for 36 years of my life. You know what I mean? And my brother on that sideline coaching those boys up when Coach Lloyd did his thing. I just had to take a moment to give him some flowers. Beaumont, Texas in the building.
Perk, you should be a producer on the show because that's exactly where we're starting here this morning. I love where your head is. Arizona pouring it on big against Arkansas. The Wildcats punched their ticket to the Elite Eight with a 109-88 win. 6 different players scored 14 or more points for Arizona, a tournament record, while the Cats shot 63.8% from the floor, the best mark in the Sweet 16 since 2005. The win gives Arizona its first appearance in the Elite Eight since 2015. On the flip side of this, the 21-point loss was the largest of John Calipari's NCAA tournament career. Entering Thursday, his 84 NCAA tournament games coached were the most ever without a 20-point loss. His last appearance in the Final Four came back in 2015 when he was at Kentucky. Coach, coming to you first here. What's the bigger headline? Arizona's dominance on Thursday night or this being Calipari's worst tournament loss?
I think it was Arizona's dominance, but I said that before the game, this was going to happen. This was a bad matchup for Arkansas. I said before the game, they struggled defending the post, and they struggled rebounding the ball in the defensive end. Their front court obviously struggled against the front court of Arizona. Arizona dominated the game. It was a bad matchup. They didn't have any answers to the questions. They couldn't get stops. Arkansas spent all season outscoring people. They were not a very good defensive team, and playing against a physical front court that dominates the paint, 60 points in the paint, and dominates the glass, this was not a fair fight. So, yeah, disappointing loss to John Calipari. Great win for Arizona. Arizona's the best team in the country. They've been dominating in the tournament. Their physicality in the front court, the size of their back court, the depth that they have 8 starters, basically. To me, I thought it was Arizona's dominance because as a matchup, it wasn't a fair fight. And now Stephen A. is going to kill me.
This was all about Arizona. This was all about Arizona. Yeah. This was a statement win, and it was a message to the rest of the teams that are still in the NCAA tournament right now. This was a message that we're here to kick ass and take names, that we're here to stand on business. And when you look at this roster, when you look at how they play agenda-free basketball, when you talk about 2 freshmen that stepped up last night, Pete and Birds, they stepped up in a tremendous way. Then you got that grown-ass man coming in off the bench in Owaka who had 14 points and 7 rebounds. This team is just exciting to watch. They don't care who gets the shine. They are committed to the game plan, and they are ready to take it home. And when you look at how they play, when you look how they play for one another, this team right here is just different. I believe that they're going to win the national championship, and I'm not being biased. But this also brings up a bigger story, Stephen A. and Coach. This brings up why upperclassmen, juniors, seniors, why they matter in the tournament. Because no matter how good Darius Acuff were and the freshmen for Arkansas, it doesn't matter. When you get to the tournament, you need those older guys. You need those vets. And that's another story. And see, again, John Calipari, he's one of the best to ever do it. He recruited me. But when it comes down to in the NCAA tournament, and it's proven over the last 2, 3, 4 years, you got to have those upperclassmen.
Listen, Arizona whipped their ass. And we understand. I mean, everybody that I've seen talking about the NCAA tournament, everybody has said that Arizona's going to win the national championship. I picked them to win the national championship. They're obviously still in it. They're in the Elite Eight. They appear to be elite or whatever. But 2 things can be true. This could be all about Arizona, as Big Perk and Coach Greenberg pointed out. But that ass kicking that Arkansas received last night, we have to look at John Calipari. We have to look at a guy that's considered one of the great coaches, a guy that's been around a really, really long time, that's considered to be a master recruiter. And it's not just a bad game. We saw a better collection of talent assembled on Arizona. Tommy Lloyd has a better team. He has a deeper team. He has a more complete team. It does make you look at John Calipari and say, how'd that happen? How'd that happen? And that's what we're going to do this morning. Because John Calipari, one of the great coaches, has not been to the Final Four since 2015. 2015, that's 11 years now. That's 11 years. Talk about John Calipari. This is what we're talking about here. And we know he's going to go out there and he's going to get a super freshman like a Darius Acuff, and he's had super freshmen. But it gets us to piggyback off of what Big Perk just said. It ain't just about them. It's about what you surround them with. Those experienced dogs, those cats that know how to deal with the pressure, that know what NCAA tournament basketball is all about. Having that experience, not just being able to recruit and having an elite freshman that's taking the world by storm. Arizona said, one man ain't beating us. What else you got? And nobody else showed up. Now, Darius Acuff finished with 28 points, had 11 in the first half when it was a game. And I'm not even thinking about the 28 points because most of it was garbage time. I mean, that was an ass kicking. I mean, it was depressing to watch because you don't expect to see a John Calipari team not have a chance. And that's how it looked. The man has coached 85 NCAA tournament games. This is his worst defeat. And they were humbled on the court. And you saw them coming apart at the seams, ready to start fighting, hard fouls, guys coming down on his head, holding him down, his crotch on his head and all of this other stuff. Arizona just kept its composure. They relaxed. They were like, you know what? This is what happens when you get your ass beat. That's what's going on right now. And we understand. No big deal. We ain't going to react to it because we got a national championship we trying to win. That's what they did. There was a difference. It's levels to this. And what we're seeing are coaches recognizing the importance of depth. And unfortunately, Arkansas didn't appear to have that last night. Ain't no way around it.
They didn't have it all season. I mean, you talk about getting older. Their backcourt was young. Their front court was all seniors. The problem is they made some mistakes in the front court in terms of recruiting. I mean, they had guys that were not as good. I mean, you look at the front court of Arizona, and those are grown-ass men. Toban Waka is a grown man. Krivas is a grown man. The physicality of the front court. Cole Pete's a freshman. He's a grown man. They could not deal with the physicality in the front court. And then the size, even Kerchekov. I mean, the size. He comes over from the EuroLeague. The size and the physicality of the backcourt. Yeah, I think they missed on some front court guys. The backcourt wasn't the problem. I mean, Billy Richmond plays hard. Did guys lose it a little bit at the end of the game? Yeah, there was frustration, but at least they continued to play hard. They've got to improve their front court. They got a big-time recruiting class coming in. If they don't complement those guys with physical, tough, winning players in the front court that can rebound and post-defend, right, then the same thing's going to happen. Guards keep you in the game, but you got to be able to rebound and defend the paint. And they did not have the ability all season long to do those two things. And Arizona was a better team and dominated the game in the paint.
Coach, help me out here for a second.
Sure.
The high school player of the year, I can't think of his name right now, but he's going to Arkansas.
Smitty.
Can you help me out for a second?
Yeah, Smitty. From Paul to 6, Smitty. Yeah, Smith.
Okay. So SA, here's the problem. This is where you have to pick a side. And I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about college basketball, right? When you talk about going out and getting these top 5 recruits, these elite freshmen, that comes with a cost. And the last time I checked, when John Calipari signed with Arkansas to be the coach, not only did he get his money, but he was able to get access to $5 million a year for NIL. Now, what ended up happening is these guys that are McDonald's All-American, they cost. And I'm not talking about $300,000-$400,000. I'm talking about 1.5 to 2 million. So it's hard to balance out the remaining of the roster. That's why I brought up a young man like Awaka, who had 14-7. He was a starter for Arizona last year as one of the starting big men. And he could have hit the transfer portal and got a big payday from somebody else. But he chose to stay. And imagine a coach, your head coach, coming to you and telling you, hey, I got this incoming freshman, Pete, McDonald's All-American. I'm going to have to move you to the bench. Anybody else probably would have bounced. But instead, he stayed, and now he's put himself in position to go win a championship. Now, I get it. Calipari, he does have to show up and show out for his advancing, getting to the Elite Eight, Final Four, and bringing another national championship. But it's hard, as say, in this NIL space and trying to get the top recruits, and especially the way that he goes to get those top freshmen, it's just hard to find that balance.
All right, to put a bow on this, we know Arizona is going to move on to the Elite Eight. They will play Purdue. Both Perk and Coach have talked about the depth of this team. Everybody from Jaden Bradley, Big 12 Player of the Year, he's a senior. Tobe Awaka, he's a senior. Mo Krivas, he's a junior. Let's not forget Anthony Dell'Orso. Deli, as they call him there, a big presence, a senior presence coming off the bench for the Wild.